June 6, 1944. 1800 hours.
Normandie, France.
Allied invasion forces cling to 5 narrow beachheads stretching 80 kilometers along the French coast. Total Allied troops ashore 156,000 soldiers. But penetration depth remains critically shallow, maximum 8 kilometers. Inland at Sword Beach, minimum 1.5 kilometers. At Omaha Beach, equipment landed 1,500 tanks and vehicles. But heavy artillery still aboard ships awaiting unloading. Air support, grounded until 1,300 hours. By weather, now operational, but stretched thin. German counterattack capacity, 3 Panzer Divisions, 21st Panzer, 12th SS Panzer, Panzer Lehr, totaling 460 tanks within striking distance. If these divisions attack now in coordinated assault against shallow beachhead, Allied forces face encirclement and destruction. Post-war analysis by military historians calculates 36-hour window exists, June 6 evening through June 8 dawn, when concentrated German armored attack could collapse beachhead before Allied reinforcements and air superiority become overwhelming. This window represents Germany's last realistic chance to defeat invasion. But coordination never happens. 21st Panzer Division attacks alone. 1800 hours. June 6, repulsed after 4-hour battle. 12th SS Panzer Division attacks alone June 7 afternoon, stalled by Canadian defenders. Panzer Lehr Division arrives June 7 evening after devastating air attacks, too depleted for effective action. Each division fights separately against strengthening Allied position rather than unified assault against vulnerable beachhead. By June 8 dawn, window closes. 326,000 Allied troops ashore, 54,000 vehicles landed, air superiority absolute, beachhead depth 15-20 kilometers. German chance evaporates. This is the story of the 36 hours, when Germany could have won D-Day, and why fragmented leadership, command delays, and Allied air power ensured that chance never materialized. June 6, 1944. 1,200 hours. Allied Supreme Commander General Dwight Eisenhower, 53 years old, reviews invasion progress from headquarters in Portsmouth, England. Reports indicate mixed success. Utah Beach secured with light casualties, British and Canadian beaches, Gold, Juno, Sword, consolidated despite heavy resistance. But Omaha Beach remains precarious with American forces pinned under German fire suffering. 2,400 casualties. Overall assessment, beachhead established, but extremely vulnerable. Eisenhower's greatest fear for next 36 hours. Coordinated German panzer counterattack before sufficient Allied armor and artillery come ashore. Intelligence estimates German panzer strength in Normandy sector, approximately 500 tanks from 3 divisions. If Germany concentrates these forces for immediate counteroffensive, Allied position becomes critical. Everything depends on Allied ability to reinforce faster than Germans can organize counterattack. June 6, 1944. 1,300 hours.
General der Panzertruppen Leo Geier von Schweppenburg,
56 years old, commanding Panzer Group West from headquarters near Paris, receives fragmentary reports of Allied landing. He calculates German response, 21st Panzer Division already engaged near Cannes, 12th SS Panzer Division at Lisieux. 70 kilometers. From beaches, Panzer Lehr Division at Chartres. 150 kilometers. Distant. Geier's strategic assessment, concentrate all 3 divisions for unified counterattack June 7 dawn, combined strength 460 tanks striking single-point collapsing Allied line before reinforcements arrive. But executing this plan requires immediate authorization from Hitler's headquarters releasing few reserve divisions and permission from Generalfeldmarschall Gerd von Rundstedt. 68 years old, Commander-in-Chief West. Geier sends urgent requests, recommend immediate release of 12th SS Panzer and Panzer Lehr for concentrated counterattack. 0600 hours, June 7th. Response time proves catastrophic. Meanwhile, 250 kilometers northeast, Generalfeldmarschall Erwin Rommel. 52 years old, Army Group B commander responsible for coastal defense, remains in Germany visiting family, absent from headquarters during invasion's first critical hours. His deputy, General Lieutenant Hans Speidel, 47 years old, assumes tactical command attempting to coordinate response without authority to commit few reserve divisions. Speidel faces impossible situation. Invasion requires immediate panzer concentration. But Hitler maintains personal control over strategic reserves. At 1400 hours, Speidel contacts Hitler's headquarters, Wolfschanz in East Prussia, requesting emergency release of 12th SS Panzer and Panzer Lehr divisions. Chief of Wehrmacht Operations Staff Generaloberst Alfred Jodl, 54 years old, refuses. The Führer is not to be disturbed before 1000 hours. We assess this may be diversionary attack. Authorization pending further developments. Precious hours pass while German armor sits motionless awaiting permission to move. At this exact moment, Allied planners exploit the narrow window they know exists. June 6th. 1400 hours. Allied naval forces begin emergency unloading of heavy artillery, anti-tank guns, and ammunition, accepting disorganization to rush firepower ashore before German armor arrives. British XXX Corps Commander Lieutenant General Gerard Bucknell, 52 years old, orders 7th Armored Division, the famous Desert Rats, to begin landing at Gold Beach despite congestion. American V Corps Commander Major General Leonard Gero, 55 years old, pushes 2nd Armored Division toward Omaha Beach. Both commanders understand next 24 hours. Decide campaign. If Allied armor and artillery establish defensive positions before German counterattack, beachhead survives. If German panzers attack first, invasion could fail. Where the forecast provides one advantage, clearing skies after 1300 hours, enable Allied tactical aircraft to begin operations. But aircraft need targets, and German panzers remain stationary at their bases awaiting orders. German command structure June 6 reveals fatal fragmentation preventing coordinated response. 3 separate headquarters claim authority over panzer deployment. Rommel's Army Group B controls tactical operations, but lacks authority over few reserve. Von Rundstedt's OB West commands theater, but defers strategic decisions to Hitler. Geier's Panzer Group West possesses operational expertise, but cannot move divisions without approval from both superiors and Hitler's personal authorization. This command confusion, deliberately created by Hitler maintaining personal control, ensures no single commander can order immediate concentration. Additionally, German intelligence still believes Normandy represents diversionary attack with main invasion targeting Pas-de-Calais. This assessment, based on Allied deception Operation Fortitude, makes Hitler reluctant committing reserves to what he considers secondary threat. Result: June 6 afternoon, 3 German panzer divisions sit at different locations awaiting contradictory orders while Allied beachhead strengthens by the hour. June 6. 1500 hours. Finally, authorization arrives. Hitler releases 12th SS Panzer Division and Panzer Lehr Division from Führerreserve control. But deployment orders remain unclear. Geier plans concentrated attack June 7 dawn. All three divisions converge on narrow front near crushing British positions, then pivot west rolling up beachhead. But each division operates under different command. 21st Panzer under Rommel's direct control, 12th SS Panzer now released to Army Group B, Panzer Lehr assigned to Panzer Group West. Coordination requires precise timing. All divisions must arrive simultaneously for maximum impact. Instead, movement begins haphazardly. 21st Panzer, closest to beaches at 40 kilometers, receives orders to attack immediately rather than wait for reinforcements. 12th SS Panzer begins 70-kilometer approach march. Panzer Lehr, 150 kilometers distant, won't arrive until evening June 7th at earliest. Unified assault splinters into three separate attacks over 36 hours. Exactly wrong approach. June 6th. 1,600-1,800 hours. 21st Panzer Division, commanded by General Major Edgar Feuchtinger. 48 years old, advances towards Sword Beach where British 3rd Infantry Division established beachhead. 8 kilometers deep. Feuchtinger commits 125 Panzer IV tanks, his full strength, to single-axis attack attempting to reach coast cutting British position in half. German armour advances through suburbs encountering British anti-tank defences. But British position remains partially disorganised, artillery not fully positioned, tank support limited, defensive lines incomplete. For 2 hours, German attack makes progress. Lead elements penetrate 4 kilometers, reaching within 2 kilometers of beach. British commanders report situation critical. If German breakthrough reaches coast, Sword Beach becomes untenable. Then at 1800 hours, weather clears completely. Allied tactical aircraft, British Typhoons armed with rockets, receive target coordinates. German panzer column advancing on Sword Beach. What the Germans don't know makes their isolated attack suicidal. Allied aircraft carriers HMS Fencer and HMS Pursuer positioned 40 kilometers. Offshore launch 48 Seafire fighters providing air cover, while land-based Typhoons from England begin systematic destruction of 21st Panzer Division. First strike. 1820 hours. 16 Typhoons fire 128 rockets into German column, destroying 9 tanks, 14 half-tracks, forcing surviving vehicles to scatter. Second strike. 1845 hours. 12 more Typhoons targeting command vehicles and supply trucks. By 1900 hours, 21st Panzer attack stalls, not from British ground resistance, but from overwhelming air attack. Feuchtinger orders retreat having lost 28 tanks, 47 vehicles. 380 casualties. Achieving only 4-kilometer penetration quickly recaptured by British counterattack. First German attempt at crushing beachhead fails, attacked alone without support, during daylight when Allied air power operates freely, against position already strengthening with landed artillery and tanks. June 6th. 2000 hours. Twilight. Rommel finally reaches his headquarters near La Roche-Guyon after 10-hour drive from Germany. He immediately grasps situation. 21st Panzer wasted in unsupported attack, 12th SS Panzer still approaching, Panzer Lehr not arriving until June 7th evening. His response blunt: "We've lost our only chance. Piecemeal attacks will fail. We needed all divisions attacking together this evening before Allied position solidified." But reversing decisions proves impossible. 12th SS Panzer Division, commanded by SS Brigade Führer Fritz Witt. 36 years old, continues approach toward can under orders to attack June 7th dawn regardless of Panzer Lehr's absence. Rommel calculates reality. Window for crushing beachhead closing rapidly. Every hour allows more Allied reinforcements ashore, more defensive positions established, more aircraft available for interdiction. German advantage evaporating. He writes in diary June 6th, "If we cannot throw the Allies back into the sea within 48 hours, we have lost the battle and perhaps the war." June 6th to 7th overnight. While German divisions maneuver toward attack positions, Allied reinforcement accelerates dramatically. June 6th. 2,400 hours. Strength. 156,000 troops. Ashore. June 7th. 0600 hours. Strength. 223,000 troops. 67,000 additional soldiers landed overnight, including heavy weapons battalions, artillery regiments, engineer units. Tank strength increases from 1,500 to 2,100 vehicles. Most critically, Allied artillery multiplication. June 6th evening, 180 artillery pieces ashore. June 7th dawn, 420 pieces. Enough firepower to contest German armor. British 2nd Army Commander Lieutenant General Miles Dempsey. 47 years old. Positions 3 artillery regiments, 72 25-pounder guns, in defensive arc around can anticipating German counterattack. American 1st Army Commander Lieutenant General Omar Bradley. 51 years old. Reinforces Omaha Beach with 2nd Infantry Division and attached tank destroyer battalions. Allied defensive capability transforms overnight from precarious to formidable. June 7th. 0600 hours. 12th SS Panzer Division, 156 tanks. 14,000 troops. Elite Waffen-SS formation, launches attack toward Juno Beach targeting Canadian 3rd Infantry Division positions near Cannes. Unlike 21st Panzer's hasty assault, 12th SS attacks with proper reconnaissance and combined arms coordination. Tanks supported by Panzer Grenadiers, artillery preparation, planned objectives. Initial success. German armor penetrates Canadian lines advancing 3 kilometers, capturing Author Village, threatening to split British-Canadian Junction. For 3 hours, battle hangs in balance. Then Allied advantages accumulate. Naval gunfire from cruisers HMS Belfast and HMS Diadem targets German concentrations. British tanks from 7th Armoured Division counterattack from flank. And most devastatingly, Allied tactical aircraft return. June 7th. 0900 hours. Weather clear. Visibility unlimited. Allied air forces launch 1,800 sorties against German positions. Typhoons, P-47 Thunderbolts, P-38 Lightnings systematically destroying German vehicles. At this exact moment, 200 kilometers south, Panzer Lehr Division, commanded by General Lieutenant Fritz Bayerlein. 45 years old, veteran of North Africa, begins its 150-kilometer approach march toward Normandy. Bayerlein commands Germany's best-equipped Panzer Division, 183 tanks including 89 Panther tanks with superior armor and 75mm guns, 2,000 vehicles. 14,000 troops. But his movement occurs in daylight under clear skies, exactly the conditions Allied air planners prepared to exploit. Allied intelligence tracks Panzer Lehr through ultra-decrypts and aerial reconnaissance. Air commanders assign 2,300 sorties specifically targeting this division during its approach, largest air interdiction effort of campaign. Result proves catastrophic. Panzer Lehr attacked continuously for 12 hours, covering 150 kilometers. Losses by evening June 7th. 5 Panther tanks, 84 half-tracks, 130 trucks, 90 fuel tankers destroyed. Bayerlein reports to headquarters, Division arrives at 40% combat effectiveness. Immediate offensive operations impossible without rest and resupply. June 7th. 1,600 hours. The 36-hour window begins closing. 12th SS Panzer Division withdraws from assault after losing 37 tanks. 840 casualties. Attack penetrated only 3 kilometers. Before Allied firepower and air superiority forced retreat. 21st Panzer remains depleted from previous day. Panzer Lehr arrives too damaged for immediate commitment. German offensive capability exhausted. Meanwhile, Allied buildup continues. June 7th. 2,400 hours. 326,000 troops. Ashore, 54,000 vehicles, 104,000 tons of supplies. Beachhead depth expands to 15-20 kilometers. Most significantly, Allied air superiority becomes absolute. 4,200 aircraft operational from British bases, whether favorable for sustained operations, German Luftwaffe reduced to 100 fighters in entire theatre. Any further German counterattacks will occur under conditions of total Allied air dominance, making success impossible. June 8th. 0600 hours. Rommel convenes conference with available panzer commanders evaluating situation. Tactical reality. Opportunity for crushing beachhead has passed. Allied position consolidated with overwhelming firepower advantage. Naval guns, artillery, tactical aircraft, tanks. German panzer strength reduced through piecemeal attacks and air interdiction. 21st Panzer at 60% strength, 12th SS Panzer at 70%, Panzer Lehr at 40%. Cumulative losses June 6th to 7th. 147 tanks destroyed. 2,800 casualties. Weakening German offensive capability while Allied forces grow stronger daily. Strategic assessment. Containing Allied beachhead now best achievable objective, crushing it no longer possible. Rommel writes to wife June 8th, the last chance has slipped away. We cannot regain the beaches. Our only hope now is fighting withdrawal to defensible line. But Hitler will never permit withdrawal. June 8th to 9th. 1944. Germany makes final desperate attempt. Concentrate remaining panzer strength for one massive counteroffensive despite knowing window has closed. Hitler personally orders throw Allies back into sea regardless of cost. 4 additional panzer divisions begin moving toward Normandy. 2nd Panzer Division from Abbeville, 116th Panzer Division from Paris region, 1st SS Panzer Division from Belgium, 2nd SS Panzer Division from southern France. But these movements occur under devastating Allied air attack. 2nd Panzer Division requires 72 hours. Traveling 180 kilometers. Normally 8-hour journey, suffering 40% losses en route from airstrikes. Combined German panzer strength Normandy by June 10th, 7 divisions totaling 800 tanks. But dispersed across 100-kilometer front, never achieving concentration needed for breakthrough. Allied strength by June 10th. 500,000 troops.
81,000 vehicles. Beachhead depth.
25 kilometers. Force ratio shifts from potentially favorable German June 6th to 7th to hopeless German by June 10th. 3 factors now converge demonstrating why 36-hour window represented Germany's only realistic chance. First factor. Allied vulnerability. June 6th evening, Allied beachhead depth averaged 3-5 kilometers. Shallow enough that concentrated panzer assault could reach beaches within 2-3 hours, cutting off forces from naval support. Anti-tank defenses incomplete, artillery limited, tank support scattered. Allied commanders' private assessments June 6th evening, 60 to 70% probability beachhead survives if German counterattack delayed until June 7th afternoon, only 30 to 40% probability if German attack launched June 6 evening with 3 divisions simultaneously. By June 8, Allied position depth 15-20 kilometers. Makes breakthrough requiring multiple days sustained attack, impossible under Allied air superiority. Second factor, German armor concentration. June 6 to 7th, 3 Panzer divisions totaling 460 tanks within 40-70 kilometers of beaches, sufficient force for concentrated breakthrough if attacking unified. By June 10th, 7 divisions totaling 800 tanks dispersed over 100 kilometers. Greater numbers, but impossible concentration. Third factor, air power. June 6 afternoon-evening, weather conditions marginal limiting Allied air operations, only 680 sorties flown supporting ground forces. German attack during this window faces reduced air opposition. June 7th to 8th, weather clear allowing Allied air forces full operations, 4,800 sorties daily targeting German ground forces, achieving air supremacy making German daylight movement suicidal and massed armor concentrations impossible. Post-war analysis by military operations researchers calculates, German panzer effectiveness declined 70% per day after June 6 due to accumulating losses, increasing Allied firepower. And absolute Allied air dominance. June 6 evening, German panzers operating at 90% effectiveness. June 7 afternoon, 70%. June 8, 50%. June 10, 25%. The 36-hour window June 6 to 7th represented period when German armor remained sufficiently strong and Allied defenses sufficiently weak for counteroffensive success. And then the human cost of Germany's fragmented response becomes clear through casualty and equipment loss analysis. June 6 to 10th, German panzer losses in piecemeal attacks, 347 tanks destroyed or disabled, representing 43% of committed armor.
Personnel casualty.
7,800 killed, wounded, or missing from panzer divisions. Equipment losses, 890 vehicles destroyed by air attack during approach marches, 2,200 tons of fuel consumed achieving nothing strategic. Allied casualties defending beachhead June 6 to 10th. 8,600 killed, wounded, or missing. But retaining position worth any cost. Exchange ratio favoring Allies. German forces suffer nearly equal casualties while failing objective. Allies achieve primary goal of establishing beachhead. By contrast, military modeling of hypothetical coordinated German attack June 6 evening calculates dramatically different outcome. 3 Panzer divisions, 460 tanks, attacking single point in Sword Beach sector simultaneous with naval bombardment suppressed by weather. The immediate tactical consequence reveals what could have happened. Scenario reconstruction by military historians. June 6. 1800 hours. Coordinated German counteroffensive launches. 21st Panzer Division attacks from southeast, 12th SS Panzer from south, Panzer Lehr, arriving early if ordered June 6 morning, from southwest, three-pronged assault converging on 5-kilometer front between Sword and Juno beaches. German strength, 460 tanks. 36,000 troops. Concentrated artillery support. Allied defensive strength in targeted sector, 18,000 British and Canadian troops, 240 tanks mostly light Stuart and Cromwell models, 84 anti-tank guns, 42 artillery pieces, adequate for distributed defense, but vulnerable to concentrated assault. German advantages. Attacking at dusk limiting Allied air response, interior lines allowing mutual support between divisions, surprises Allies expect piecemeal attacks. Allied advantages. Naval gunfire from offshore battleships and cruisers, prepared defensive positions, higher morale. Military probability analysis. 55 to 65% chance German attack achieves breakthrough reaching coast, 35 to 45% Allied defense holds. If German breakthrough succeeds, reaching coast and cutting British positions in two, strategic consequences transform campaign. Sword Beach sector isolated from supplies and reinforcements, British 3rd Infantry Division faces encirclement requiring evacuation or surrender. Juno Beach threatened from flank forcing Canadian withdrawal. Overall Allied position contracts from 80 km front to 40 km around American sectors. But critically, even successful German counterattack June 6th to 7th likely cannot eliminate entire beachhead. Allied naval superiority and remaining forces at Omaha Gold Utah beaches ensure bridgehead survives. Best German achievable outcome: collapse of British Canadian sectors forcing Allied contraction, invasion delayed by the 2nd of April weeks while new landings organized, strategic advantage shifts allowing Germany additional time strengthening defenses. Worst German outcome if attack fails: heavy panzer losses weakening defensive capability for subsequent battles. Historical reality: Germany chose neither concentrated attack nor defensive conservation, instead frittering away armor in piecemeal assaults achieving nothing. June 10, 1944. Rommel reports to Hitler's headquarters via secure telephone: Mein Führer, our counterattacks have failed. Allied beachhead consolidates daily. We lack strength for further offensive operations. Recommend transitioning to mobile defense preserving forces. Hitler's response, recorded by staff officers: there will be no withdrawal, no defense. Continue attacking until beachhead eliminated. Rommel recognizes futility. Window has permanently closed. German offensive capacity exhausted. Allied buildup accelerating beyond German ability to contest. But orders remain unchanged: attack, regardless of casualties or impossibility. Over following weeks, German forces continue launching local counterattacks achieving nothing while suffering devastating losses. By June 30th, German panzer strength in Normandy reduced to 350 tanks, less than half committed strength, while Allied forces expand to 850,000 troops and 150,000 vehicles. The 36-hour window June 6th to 7th represented Germany's singular opportunity, and command confusion, fragmented response, and underestimation of Allied air power ensured that opportunity vanished. The immediate strategic consequence of Germany missing the 36-hour window extends beyond D-Day tactical failure to transformation of entire Western European theater. June-August 1944. Allied forces expand from Normandy beachhead, break out through Operation Cobra late July, liberate Paris August 25, reach German border September. German casualties Normandy campaign: 240,000 including 200,000 captured, entire defensive force destroyed. Had coordinated German counterattack June 6 to 7th collapsed British Canadian sectors, strategic timeline shifts, Allied forces contract to smaller bridgehead around American beaches, reinforcement delayed 2 to 4 weeks organizing new landings, campaign extends through autumn 1944. Rather than concluding August, Germany gains 2 to 3 months strengthening defenses, potentially developing V-2 rockets and Me-262 jet fighters to operational status, possibly forcing Allied strategic reassessment. But even best German outcome, temporary defeat of British Canadian sectors, cannot prevent eventual Allied victory given overwhelming material superiority. If Germany had executed coordinated panzer counterattack during 36-hour window, military analysts calculate plausible alternative scenarios. Scenario 1. Full coordination. 3 panzer divisions attack simultaneously June 6. 1800 hours. Targeting Sword Beach sector. Probability models suggest 55 to 65% chance achieving breakthrough isolating British 3rd Infantry Division, forcing Canadian 3rd Division withdrawal, collapsing 30-kilometer beachhead section. Allied response: concentrate remaining forces at American sectors, land reinforcements at collapsed British beaches within 48 hours. Re-establishing continuous front, except 2-week operational delay. Strategic consequence: D-Day succeeds. But Normandy campaign extends through September. Allied casualties increase 40,000. German defensive position strengthens marginally. Scenario 2. Partial coordination. 2 divisions attack June 7th dawn while Panzer Lehr approaches. Probability 35 to 45% achieving significant penetration. Allied response stronger due to overnight reinforcement. But German attack still threatens beachhead stability. Scenario 3. Historical reality. Fragmented piecemeal attacks over 3 days. Result: complete German failure. Allied beachhead secure by June 8th. The fate of key commanders reflects consequences of missing critical window. Rommel, recognizing Normandy campaign lost after June 8th, begins contemplating negotiated peace with Western allies excluding Hitler. July 17th. 1944. Seriously wounded when Allied aircraft strafe his staff car. October 14th. 1944. Forced to commit suicide after implication in July 20th assassination plot. Executed for opposing Hitler's strategic decisions that cost Germany the war. Georg von Schweppenberg relieved of command July 2nd. 1944. After criticizing Hitler's interference in tactical operations, scapegoated for failure that resulted from command structure preventing coordinated response. Von Rundstedt removed from command July 2nd. 1944. For recommending peace negotiations, replaced by General Feldmarschall Gunther von Kluge, who also recognizes situation hopeless.
Feuchtinger survives war.
But 21st Panzer Division destroyed in Normandy fighting. Witt killed June 14th. 1944. By naval gunfire, 12th SS Panzer Division reduced to 30% strength by end June. Bayerline survives. But Panzer Lehr Division annihilated in July fighting. Rebuilt 3 times, destroyed 3 times. German panzer force in West never recovers from losses sustained attacking during and after 36-hour window when coordinated assault might have succeeded. The mathematics proving the 36-hour window represented Germany's singular opportunity emerge from force ratio and reinforcement rate analysis. June 6th. 1800. Hours. Allied forces ashore. 156,000 troops. German available panzer strength 460 tanks within immediate striking distance. Force ratio potentially favorable for concentrated German armored breakthrough against shallow beachhead. Allied reinforcement rate. 67,000 troops.
Per
12 hours. German reinforcement rate. 1 additional Panzer Division per 24 hours. Calculation. Every 12 hours. Delay increases Allied strength faster than German, shifting force ratio progressively against German success probability. June 7th. 1800. Hours. 24 hours. After optimal attack time. Allied strength. 280,000 troops. German panzer strength 380 tanks, accounting for losses from piecemeal attacks. Force ratio now favoring Allied defense. June 8th. 1800. Hours. 48 hours. After optimal time. Allied. 380,000 troops. German 350 tanks. German attack impossible. Window calculation. 36 hours. Represents period when German force concentration could achieve local superiority against still organizing Allied defense before reinforcement and air superiority make German success impossible. Remember June 6th. 1944. 1800. Hours. When 3 German panzer divisions totaling 460 tanks sat within 40-70 kilometers. A vulnerable Normandy beachhead where 156,000 Allied troops clung to shallow coastal strip averaging 3-5 kilometers. Depth. Remember how fragmented German command structure prevented coordinated response. 21st Panzer attacked alone that evening, repulsed after penetrating 4 kilometers. 12th SS Panzer attacked alone June 7th, stalled after 3-kilometer advance. Panzer Lehr arrived too depleted from air attacks for effective operations. Remember how each division fought separately over 36 hours against progressively strengthening Allied position rather than unified assault during brief window when German armor possessed advantage. Remember June 8 when window closed permanently. 326,000 Allied troops ashore, 54,000 vehicles landed, beachhead depth 15-20 kilometers. Allied air superiority absolute. This is the 36-hour window when Germany could have crushed Normandy beachhead, and how command confusion, air power, and piecemeal response ensured that critical opportunity vanished forever. The statistics quantify the lost opportunity and actual outcome. German panzer strength Normandy June 6 to 7th. 3 divisions, 460 tanks, capable of concentrated assault during 36-hour vulnerability window. Allied defensive strength targeted sector June 6 evening. 18,000 troops, 240 tanks, incomplete anti-tank defenses, vulnerable to concentrated armor breakthrough. Military probability analysis coordinated German attack, 55 to 65% chance achieving breakthrough, 35 to 45% Allied defense holds. Actual German response, fragmented attacks over 3 days. Result, 347 German tanks destroyed June 6 to 10th, 7,800 German casualties, 0 breakthrough achieved, Allied beachhead secure. By June 30th, German strength 350 tanks versus Allied 850,000 troops.
150,000 vehicles.
Normandy campaign outcome, 240,000 German casualties including 200,000 captured, complete German defeat, Allied liberation of France by August. British military historian Max Hastings writes, if German panzer divisions had attacked in concert during first 36 hours, invasion faced serious danger. Fragmented response gave Allies time to consolidate position that became unbreakable. American military analyst Carlo Dess states, the window existed. German command failures ensured it closed unused. Today, military staff colleges worldwide study the 36-hour window as definitive case in operational tempo and timing. The principle, windows of opportunity in warfare remain open briefly, hours to days, before enemy reinforcement and changed conditions make previously viable operations impossible. German failure exploiting June 6 to 7th window demonstrates consequences of command structure preventing rapid coordinated response. Modern military doctrine emphasizes decentralized command, allowing field commanders to exploit fleeting opportunities without awaiting authorization from distant headquarters. The tragedy: Germany possessed forces, positioning, and brief opportunity to collapse Allied beachhead during vulnerable first 36 hours. But command confusion and fragmented response wasted this singular chance. 3 panzer divisions attacking simultaneously June 6 evening might have changed D-Day outcome, delayed Allied advance, extended war's timeline. Instead, they attacked separately, failed separately, and ensured Allied success. The 36-hour window when Germany could have won D-Day closed unused, victim of the same command failures, air power, and strategic confusion that ultimately cost Germany World War II.